So Frank, I found you on YouTube, the retired boater.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you spotted me and that you reached out.
Yeah, so I'm Constable Sean McCaffrey with the Ontario Provincial Police.
Yeah.
I've been a marine operator with us since 2006. Yeah, I saw your channel. Seems like a decent guy.
Yeah,
I want to talk boat safety with that guy.
Yeah, for sure. And when you reached out, I mean, immediately I thought, well, if it helps other boaters, I'm in. And your approach was absolutely friendly and whatnot. I couldn't refuse that.
Do you have any questions, like right off the top of your head before we get into anything? Like,
yeah, I mean, so absolutely. So, as a marine officer, what do you see the most that you'd like to convey the most to us boaters?
Constable McCaffrey. Sorry about that, Frank. Unfortunately, my phone rang, and this all happened within the last hour. Just fell overboard. They tried to rescue him, and he just went under. So no life jacket. I can't believe the timing on that.
Someone just drowned, didn't have the life jacket, like within the last hour.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Please wear the life jackets, guys.
I'm approaching Newborough Lock. Apparently there's no room there, so the goal is to go all the way up to here and into Chaffee's Locks. See what's happening there. Security, security, security. All stations, all stations, all stations. This is gracias, gracias, gracias. I'm entering the narrow channels towards Newborough from the upper Rideau Lake. Gracias out. I remembered exactly what to say because I wrote it down here, people. Oh yes, all well prepared.
Way too often we see boats that are coming up 2, 3, and 4 life jackets short. And honestly, if you go on the water, that's the only thing that's going to save you.
Yeah.
I hear time and time again on strong swimmer.
But I guess if you're knocked out or something like that,
if you're knocked out, if the water is really cold and you start to lose function, doesn't matter how strong a swimmer you are, it's not going to help.
June 26th. And it's not a bad location to wake up to, right? I'm in Nobles Bay, Loon Country. And look at this. Wow. And this is a little island right there. Just in case, right? I wish I could have stayed anchored down in this bay another day, but yeah, with the rain and everything coming along and the wind picking up. As I mentioned, I'm about to lift anchor, and look at this, right? The shore's right here. The wind is pushing me towards there too. Okay, so that was tough lifting the anchor with all the wind, but I'm getting there. There, getting close to shore with the wind, so let's power it up. And you can tell in green there where I struggle a little bit lifting up the anchor, turning around a bit with the wind, and now we're on our way.
One of the dangers of these boats is that people become complacent. So, you know, you may be driving along, whoever is doing whatever behind you, your children, your partner, your friend, whatever.
Yeah.
So your focus is up front. You're watching where you're supposed to go,
Yeah.
which is what you're supposed to be doing. If someone falls overboard, you're not going to hear about it.
Yeah.
They may be a good swimmer, but you're driving away from them at.
On June 16th, I began the Rideau Canal. And today is June 26th, and I made it all the way to Nobles Bay yesterday. I anchored there, we saw the looms, and today I came down past the Narrows Lock and ended up in Newborough Lock, because over here there was no assurances that I would have a spot at the lock, so I didn't chance it. I stayed there. I have plenty of time, so tomorrow the 27th I may travel down all the way down here, weather permitting, and inching much closer to Kingston.
So in Ontario, to actually be able to drink legally on your boat, you do have to be at anchor, but you also have to have permanent cooking, permanent sleeping, and permanent toilet facilities. So it needs to be a pump out head. You have to have an actual cooking facility. So a sleeping bag, a barbecue, and a porta potty, don't cut it. So
Oh, the dinghy. Yeah, it was really hot the last days, and it was totally inflated, and now it's cool actually, and it deflated, and now the tarp doesn't want to hold. Look at this. See right there? Man, it's totally soft now.
and so, like you said, you're at anchor, and then yep, by all means, you can have some open alcohol. I know on a boat such as this, it's tempting to have the wine while you're underway, not necessarily the operator, but you know, the passengers.
Right.
And again, in Ontario, that does violate the legislative statutes.
Okay. So that's the thing here. So as the captain, I can drink on the boat only when it's anchored down, and it should always be at below 0.08, because you never know when I have to take control of the boat.
Absolutely.
And then the passengers also only when the boat is anchored down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only time anybody can legally drink on a vessel or have open alcohol on a boat or a vessel is you have to be at anchor at a dock, and it has to meet those requirements. So.
Holy, it's a family reunion of loons. Yeah, the boat is rolling, adding a little spice to the adventure. Well, there wasn't supposed to be any room left here for the boat, but at Newborough, however, there's two boats that just left. I met them actually just in the narrow channel here, and the opportunity just presented itself, and it's just starting to rain right now, so I got lucky. Yeah, we'll take it. Another question I have for you, Sean.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, it's great that you're here actually. Because there's little things that we don't dare asking, but you know, and It just reached out and said, "Oh, that's fantastic for me and to keep my family safe." So I'm on the water, and then a police boat comes towards me. What's my obligation? Do I stop and do I have rights, or can I refuse?
So no, you can't refuse.
Refuse. Okay.
Yeah. So under the Canada Shipping Act, the police are granted the authority to stop and inspect any vessel to make sure it's in compliance with all the safety regulations. And so we can talk about that in a bit. But we also need to ensure that the driver's sober. And
so I might be subject to a sober test.
You could very well be, yes.
Okay, and I have to take it.
Yeah, you have to take it, just like your car. So
okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to charts, not maps, as pointing out by some viewers, thank you very much. Here, going from Ottawa to Kingston, there's 8 charts. So I labeled them all out. It's easier this way to sort them out as I go. And then, so the one that's 6 to 8 is missing only because it's on the dashboard here, right over here. You might wonder, what is this screen about? Have a look. Turtle nest protector.
Yeah, and that's generally the cause of collisions and fatalities on the water. Beyond the alcohol, is that boaters not following the rules. So having no lights at night, excessive speed, failing to keep proper lookouts.
See the front of the dinghy? It's just like on the inside of the boat, so it doesn't touch the locks when I'm going down or up. And it's the same here, the back of the boat. When I drive the boat, the wind is pushing me a little bit. Oh, the markers are tight. Another boat is coming. Oh, the current is turning this way.
Yeah.
And then so I got lots of things going on in my mind. So if everybody observes what they're supposed to do, you got it made.
There's no issue.
Oh, quaint little lock. Look at this. How beautiful is it, eh? Little treasures along the Rideau Canal, people. Speaking of which, distraction. What about cell phones on the boat?
Yeah, that's good. There's no legislation preventing using the phone while boating.
Okay.
Again, we discourage it. Just because you need to be focused. Like a lot can go wrong very, very quickly on the water.
Yeah. Same team, you know.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, that's why I reached out to you.
Yeah. That's how I saw it for a moment, and people are gonna find that funny. I thought, maybe Sean saw something on one of my videos and say, "Hey, Frank, let's do an interview," and I'm gonna arrive here and okay, Heinz behind your back, Frank, and God, what am I getting myself into? But
no, we, like I said, the same team, Snowmobile ATV Vessel Enforcement. So that was our original name. We switched to education is one of our primary goals as well. So,
well, I'm at Upper Brewers Locks right now. I'm gonna stay here overnight. There's no more electricity spots down there at the Lower Brewers Locks. Getting closer to Kingston. Almost finished the Rideau Canal. When people come in the boats, first time you come in, everybody laughs, but the life jackets are here.
And that's
the extinguishers are there. Yeah, it is my responsibility.
Yeah.
And the last thing I would want is to be irresponsible towards my guests, my family. And if something was to happen, well, no, Frank never told us where the life jackets were when he came in, and this and that. And you know what? They would be right.
Yeah.
So
you as the we call it the master, the captain, the pilot, whatever you want to call it, You as a master of the vessel are responsible for everything and everyone on your vessel.
Yeah.
So if you're driving along and someone's drinking, you could potentially give the ticket for that, even though it's this other person drinking and breaking that specific law. Because again, it is your boat, your responsibility. So same with the life jackets. I will tell you right off the bat, though, when it comes to alcohol and life jackets, PFGs, there's zero discretion. You're always going to get that ticket. So this is awesome. Like, I would ask you for your documents. You would just hand me this, and like, okay, he's got everything. Look at that. There's all the cards. Look at that.
Oh, for everybody. Yeah, exactly.
Good for you.
You know what? It's a guilty pleasure. And so if I'm being boarded by police officers, officer, it's all here. Knock yourselves out. All the life jackets are all here, and they
that makes me happy.
Just to see the smile on the officer, just
absolutely.
to get a kick out of that.
Oh, I'd be grinning ear to ear.
Well, my friends, this is the last lock of the Rideau Canal. I'm at the bottom of the locks, and Kingston is right over here. And I have my 3 nights reservation at Confederate Marina, which is right downtown Kingston. Well, that was a 4-hour boat ride, and on its own, it's not so bad, but I've been boating by myself on the Rideau for the last 12 days, so yeah. It tends to catch up to you. That brings me another question.
Yeah.
There's a boat that's stranded. Oh, their engine is down, and they're asking for help, or I'm offering help. Now I'm gonna tie them up at the back, but while doing that, their boat gets damaged. Am I responsible?
Essentially, if you're doing your best to help someone, and something happens outside of your control, the courts are not going to prosecute you for that, right? You know, now if it was willful, then that's a totally different story.
Right. Is a copy of a boating license? Is a copy of a boating operator license okay on paper?
You're actually required to have the plastic card with you. That's why it's plastic, right? So it can hold up the elements.
Oh yeah.
So same as your driver's license. Like we don't accept a digital or like a photocopy of your driver's license.
Okay.
I'm fine with photocopies of your insurance, your registration. If you do go into American waters or Americans coming into Canadian waters, you're allowed to go back and forth because we recognize that there's certain channels where for a few minutes you're in Ontario, a few minutes you're in New York, then you're back in Ontario, or even further down, just go back in New York. So the government's recognized that fact, and what they say is, as long as you don't drop an anchor, go to a dock, anything like that, as long as you kind of stay mobile, then you're good.
Okay.
You don't need to check in. Passport's always good for ID.
So, in case of an accident, I will here to stop. I identify myself and the yacht. I provide assistance. I take down information such as the time, the conditions, the names, the telephone addresses, and I file an accident report with law enforcement. Is that accurate?
Yep. So, just again, think about like driving a car.
Is it true that with your cell phone you dial *16 and it reaches the Coast Guard?
Reaches the Coast Guard.
But only the Coast Guard, not their boats around.
No,
obviously.
Just the Coast Guard, yeah. If you dial *677, that reaches the OPP.
Oh,
so
I
star
did not
OPP.
know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my list here. And you would want to do that if you spot someone.
So.
But what would you contact the OPP instead of the Coast Guards? Or is it the same?
So we're enforcement. Coast Guard's not enforcement in Canada.
Oh, they're federal.
If you see, a boater that's maybe drunk or doing something illegal, then it would be the police you contact. You wouldn't contact the Coast Guard. Okay. If you did get a hold of the Coast Guard, they're just going to tell you to call the police. And if it's an impaired boater, you're dialing 911 right away.
So RCMP, OPP, either or approach me, it's going to be for the same purpose.
So RCMP is more federal law. They'll probably want to verify kind of trip details, border crossings, certain things like that. They may not necessarily go through all your equipment. They'll want to see it. But even then, if there's some issues, then they may contact us, or there may be one of us on board. So it's not unusual to see OPP and RCMP working together.
Well, that's one of my driving forces, and the other one is just to be responsible for my family. The last thing I would want is for my children to think, "Oh, how come, Daddy, you didn't know that? Why didn't you do that, Dad?"
Yeah.
Or my wife saying, "Well, he knew it, but you didn't know it. Like, you put us in danger." I don't want to be that type of dad or
absolutely
husband.
not. No.
You know, there's no way I'm going there.
No, and that's good motivation. Whatever it takes to motivate you to do that, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and that goes back to being responsible and caring, you know, for the safety of other people. So it's not just you out here; it's all of us out here sharing the same water.
Sean, is it a fair assessment to say that most boaters, they know what they're doing?
I would say maybe 60%. 60.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there was an influx of a lot of new boaters over the past several years.
Holy moly, that's scary.
Yeah, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and that's what it should be. But people, when they get that fun, enjoyable, I'm having fun, I'm having a great time, they forget about the responsibility or anything else.
You talk with conviction. I can see it in your eyes. You've seen it all. And this is what you're trying to convey. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So, like I said, I saw your channel. I'm like, that guy's responsible. Doesn't know his maths in church yet, but, you know, we'll work on that.
I got lots to go. Yeah. But you'll notice on my next videos, I correct myself and I laugh about it. I'm going to be improving. I want to get it. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frank.
Sean, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
My pleasure.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. And if we have questions, can we reach out? How does that work?
So you can reach out. I'm going to leave my business card with you right now.
All right.
And so it has my email address there and my business phone number on there.
Thank you.
And yeah, so again, because
it's going to go in here.
Yeah, that's fine. It's all about education. So and that's part of that's the driving force behind me wanting to hook up with you is that I saw a guy that's responsible, takes the boating seriously, yet still has fun. Like I see your videos. You have all this. You're so responsible, and you're still having fun.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Yeah.
And so I got to talk to that guy.
Bye, everyone. And you know what I'm gonna say, right? Yeah, it's that time. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Take care.
There goes a man that I trust and that I respect.